Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to put together a Texas rig. And for those of you who already know how to do this, you might want to hold on just a little bit longer. We're going to show you some extra tips. If you can, just fast forward through the video. These are the pieces that you need for a Texas rig. You need plastic lure, hook, and your bullet weight. Okay, the first thing you want to do is take your bullet weight. That goes point first onto the line. Sometimes you have to wet the end and get it nice and pointy to get it slide on there. Okay, there we go. You can let that slide down. Then you want to take your hook. Okay, once you have your hook tied on, you want to make sure the line is cut, pretty close to the eye. All right. Now what you want to do is, pretty much look about, how long is this piece. You want to slide the hook up into the mouth about that length. I usually do a tiny bit longer, up to about right there. And you just slowly take it out the bottom. You slide it all the way down. And I like to do it a little bit longer because when you bring it down, the end of the nose of this gets outside that eye of the hook, and it seems to stay in there a little bit better. And you flip it. Oh, here's a very important part too. When you slide it down, you want to flip this hook over. Okay, hold this, flip it over, and push it in. Okay, you can push it past and bring it down. Now here's another crucial part. Okay, you pretty much want to take this lure, line it up to right where it's about to go in. Hold your thumb there. Okay, take your lure, put it right where, or take your hook and put it through the lure, right where your thumb was. Okay, so it comes out the back like that. Okay, and you can bring it down further if you think it needs to be further, or bring it up closer. Okay, now this is what I like to do. I like to take it out. You can work it in there a little bit so that when the bass hits it, it goes through easily. But I like to do this, take it out like that, so it's poking out. You push, you pull your lure out. You just get the tip of that hook just underneath, just so it's right under the skin. And that's what we like to call skinning it. These are the pieces that I use. For a bullet weight, I usually use a 1/8. It really just depends on, what speed you want to fish, how fast are the fish moving earlier in the year. You might want to use a smaller weight because you want it to be a little bit slower for the drop to be a little bit slower for the bass or whatever. It really just depends on the state of the bass. But what you want to make sure is that it has a nice pointy or smooth snout here at the end, because a lot of times there's flat-headed ones and they get caught up on the weeds and stuff, and this is made to be weedless, and that's one thing you don't want. So make sure you get a pointy one. So these are the hooks that you're going to want to use with your Texas rig. You can use a straight neck hook, but that's going to require the use of a little super glue if you really want it to stay on there. So the ones with these bends right after the eye of the hook are what you want to look for. Now, I use this one more than this one because I use a lot of more skinny baits. Brush hogs and lizards and stuff like that seem to do well, any creature baits. But if you're using a thicker bait, maybe like a fluke or something, you really want to go with this one right here. Otherwise, I seem to have a better hookup ratio with this. Now, if you do wind up using the wide bend neck or the wide bend hook right here, you can see the difference. How this one, it almost points right back to the eye of the hook. Now you can see with this, how it doesn't point back, it points way over. Now that's what you really want to look for. That's really going to help hook the fish. When you have it in there, inside the bait, it's going to be at an angle like this. So when the bass hits it, it's going to give it that extra leeway to come up and hook the fish a lot easier. So what I like to do with these, just take a pair of pliers, which I've also rigged these pair of pliers to double as a turkey call. And you want to just take them right here, right there, and just bend a little bit. You don't want to bend a lot. You know? Pretty much you want to bend it to where, now it's not pointing so much right at the hook. I could have bent it back a little bit more. But that's going to help you hook fish a lot more, a lot better. Now, when using a Texas rig, you're going to have a lot of line twist. When you set the hook, it's going to snap eventually. So what you want to do, this is a crappy little swivel, but put a swivel on there so it'll help prevent line twist. I recommend the length of your line between your hook and your swivel to be about 8 to 10 inches. I recommend this because that's pretty much going to be the length of line that's going to be hanging from the tip of your rod. And a lot of people make the mistake of making the leader too long, and they can't reel it up past the swivel, so you have so much line hanging off the tip of your pole, you're not going to be able to cast correctly. So remember that, 8 to 10 inches about. And this year, I'm going to be using a fluorocarbon leader to braided line. Okay, so now you might be thinking, okay, it prevents line twist. But that's a lot of tying to do. You got 1 on the hook and 2 more knots to tie to your swivel. So that's 3 knots, and that's pretty time consuming. If you're in a tournament or if you're just out on the lake and you want to get things done, you really want to get that lure on there fast. I know that. So I got this idea from my grandfather, who does a lot of saltwater fishing, and they have a lot of different rigs, and he pre-rigs a lot of stuff. So here's your solution. You can tie these at home when you have nothing to do. All you do is take your hook, tie a line to it, the amount of line you need, like I said, about 8 to 10 inches. You put your bullet weight on there, and then you put your swivel on there. What you do is take your end of your line and just wrap it in nice loops. Put it just like that. And then you get these guys right here. I mean, you can even put them in old plastic lure baggies, but these are really cheap. You can probably get them at a hardware store. You can find them online real cheap. Put them in there, zip them up and stuff. And then you can even write, T-rig leader, fluorocarbon, monofilament, whatever you need to write on there. And there you go. Here's one more extra tip. After you catch a couple of bass, your lure is going to be messed up. You might, boom, pull this out. No good, right? Okay, so say you run out of lures for the end of the day. Hold on to these. Throw these suckers back in the bag, because, boom, you take the head off, put it back through, push it down, back around again, and there you go. You got a whole nother lure to use. Now use these as backups, just in case. There you go again. So you get twice the use out of them.